Good afternoon, Greg here, Huntcast Podcast, along with the other host, Doug, and we are here to talk to you about the Prime RVX. So if you listen to our podcast, you'll know that Doug shoots in RVX 2, which is last year's model Prime. Yeah. So I'm going to give you some basic rundowns on the bow and some shots. Doug is going to take care of all that for us. So this bow is set up currently at 60 pounds, 29-inch draw, does have the Prime brand, which I will get a little closer here for you guys to see. So keep in mind that the Hamskea, even though Prime really pushes it, you do have to use a burger hole mount that comes in with the rest. So this will not mount to the integrate. So a big step over last year from the RVX to the RVX is you get pick mount for your sight. Does have the optional integrate for the QAD rests or the QAD patented rest. So I know like Trophy Ridge currently just came out with the Propel, which does have an IMS system to it, so you can mount integrate. I did set this bow up with the Prime button right here for your limb driven, so you don't have to tie around the limb. This is a Morel scar pattern limb set with the black riser. And again, this is a modded bow, so you need actual mods for draw length changes. And this is an interchangeable let-off right here on the bottom and top mod. It goes up to 85% and down to probably about 70. So we basically got a D-loop on here, got it really close to center shot, so we're not 100% if it's totally tuned, because neither of us have shot this bow yet. But we're going to let Doug shoot it only for the fact that he owns the RVX, and that's what he took out to Montana. So we're going to let him do the honors here. Okay.
So the first thing that you notice about this bow is the center grip technology. I think it's huge.
Yeah.
It just balances so well because your grip is actually in the center of the riser, as opposed to most manufacturers that have it down a little bit low. And there's a lot of weight above your hand. So I really like that. I love this grip too. It's got that nano grip.
Nano grip, which is the aerospace technology aero gel that they're using.
Yeah. Nice and warm in the winter. You don't touch the aluminum at all. I really love the grip. So, but let's shoot it.
Awesome. So the first thing we're going to do is run it right here through the chrono. Again, this is 60 pounds at 29 inches. So Doug and I both shoot 28 and a half. So it's going to be a little bit long, but not horrible. So we'll be able to get this drawn back. So we got 258, and that is a 460 grain arrow, so typical hunting weight arrow. And again, 60 pounds, 29-inch draw, so not horrible at all.
Yeah. Kind of typical.
Yeah.
For 60 pounds.
For 60 pounds, right, yeah. Right. So you can go maybe a little bit lighter in like a 450-ish grain arrow, and you might get a little bit of speed out of it.
Get into the mid-260s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's going to be pretty common for just about any hunting bow that's out there shooting an actual hunting arrow.
I will say, though, that it feels different than last year's RVX. This RVX has a little bit more of a hump and dump.
Okay. It looked like it was a little violent on the backside.
It's not honestly, it's not quite as smooth as the RVX. I don't know why. I can't explain that because it's exactly the same.
Exact same cams, core cam system.
The cams are identical. There's nothing different about it. It just has a bit of a dump. But it is maybe a hair faster than mine. Maybe just a couple of feet per second. Maybe that's where
the half inch might make the difference.
That will too.
You know?
Yeah. But it's dead in your hand. I do like that. It balances really well. No vibration, and there's nothing on it. It's a bare bow, so there's nothing on it. But there is a bit of a hump and dump. But no, I do like it. So
I'm going to take a shot just because that did look pretty violent. And for those of you that know me very well, that's a typical, I'm going to say it, Matthews issue.
I didn't want to say that, but yes.
Yeah, so I have no problem saying that. So that's a typical thing that happens. In this one, when Doug drew it, I could tell that there was somewhat of a big hump in the back there. So yeah, it breaks over pretty hard. It does hold very, very nice. I'll give it that. And duplicate on my shot, so 258 again. And Doug's right. I mean, the bow doesn't move, and it's very stable at draw.
Yeah.
But man, does that draw cycle have something to be worked on for sure. And again, we have
you like that. You know, if you're
right. If you're
coming from Matthews,
right, then this you're used to it.
So you know, everyone likes a different feel, but
Yep.
It's definitely a little more harsh than last year.
Yeah, yeah, because I've shot the Doug's RevX and never had an issue like that. And like I said, it was almost like you hit an early back wall.
Yeah.
And then you had to kind of pull past it.
Yep. Once you're there, it holds around.
Oh yeah, once you're in it, you're in it. I mean, you could fall asleep holding the thing back, but
yes, absolutely.
But yeah, that's I don't know if I'd be real interested in being in a tree and a little bit cold with that. And the one thing for me, you know, between Athens and PSD is what I've shot for the last 2 years for hunting bows, and they're a smoother pull, you know, kind of, I call them a straight through bow. So you're drawing all the way, there's no valley, there's no hump, there's no nothing.
Right.
But the not having that hump and the fact that this is a 60-pound bow, and I almost struggled a little getting over it, and I think it's probably because of the half-inch draw length long. But with PSE in Athens, I draw 65 no problem.
This you'd struggle with 65.
Yeah, 65 for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I'm trying to think of what the brace height was on the bow the Unite that I shot, and I think that was 6 1/4. So same brace height.
Yeah.
Same axle,
Maybe
32.
6.5, but I think it's 6 1/4.
But no, other than that, like Doug said, it's, you know, when you're in it, you're in it. Balances very well, no vibration. But yeah.
Typical prime, you know, fit and finish. Everything is nice and clean.
Yep.
Finish is really nice. Yeah, the machining is excellent. So.
Where do you have your other bow here, Doug?
Yep.
Let's get the RevX. I just want to compare this now because that was pretty drastic. But it is literally the same cam, core cam system. The only difference that we're 100% sure of is the draw length.
Yeah.
But other than that, so here is Doug's bow, completely set up. This is the RevX 2. And again, same core cam, same center grip, has the swoop, nano gel grip. So this has a set of gas strings on it. About the only real difference, and you have a 60-pound on both ends.
Yep.
This is set at 28.5. The RVX is set at 29.
Right.
So let's have Doug shoot that first, and then I'm going to shoot it again. Only real big change here is we're shooting a QAD off the burgers on Doug's bow, and this has the Epsilon on it. So yeah, so no dump whatsoever. I don't know if you could, you could see him in this shot where 256, so it's 2 feet a second difference, but there was no hump. There was no dive bomb in the back. I'm going to set this bow down. I'm going to grab Doug's bow from him. So in these, Doug shoots a lot of victory arrows. The next bow we do, I'm going to bring some Eastons in, and we will have some Ultras here soon as well that we're going to use for testing. But so let's see what we got here. And this one has a sight, so I don't have to figure out where I'm going to shoot, so I don't have to hit the chronograph. Yeah, so no dump, no violence in the back. And still just as smooth.
56 duplicate.
Yep,
So.
duplicate. So the bows are right there. So you're 2 feet a second apart, between a 1/2 inch in draw length, between 60 on both bows, 28.5 on the RevX, 29 on the RVX.
Yep.
But
which that could be the 2 feet.
Right, exactly. That 1/2 inch can definitely be the 2 feet.
Yeah.
But I have no idea why that RVX has that big dump in the back when this doesn't.
Yeah.
Same cam, same riser,
Brace.
same brace height. It's
identical.
This one is 0.1 pound heavier. And like I said, I think it was probably like a broken scale when at the factory. But other than that, they are identical. This is green with morel scar. That's black with morel scar limbs.
Yep.
And so, yeah. Not quite impressed with the RVX. Definitely would recommend the RevX unless you like that big back wall that drops in.
Yeah, well, see, you and I are not used to that.
Right, no. We shoot bows, right.
I shoot a Bowtech, I shoot an Athens.
Yep.
So they don't have that.
They don't have that hump, no.
So if you're coming from a Matthews,
right.
That's par for the course. That's,
exactly.
You're used to that.
It might almost be identical to a Matthews at that point.
So, yeah, you might not be opposed to it. So.
But
I'd definitely, check it out.
Check it out for sure.
To the shop,
yep.
shoot it.
So we do have in stock in the shop, we do have the RVX 2 and 4. So if you want that little longer axle, maybe you want a 3D bow, or you're going to do some hunting out west and you want that little bit better hold on a long shot, that's why they make those longer bows. A lot of people always ask why they make a longer bow, and most of the time the answer is target, whether you're shooting 3D or you're shooting paper. But in reality, it's for holding better on a longer shot. The short bow tends to want to move around when you're pushing 60 yards. That longer axle gives you a better solid hold at that distance. But yeah, so
yeah, definitely check it out.
Yep.
I think it's worth taking a look for sure.
So if you want to grab that one, and we'll and Doug's is loaded up. He's got a Jack Gear sling, black gold sight, Q8D, a little stab on the front from Tap, and running the specialty PXL hunting peep. And again, the biggest difference between the bows is pick mount, integrate. This bow does not have integrate or a pick mount, so that's the big change of the RVX. So why the draw cycle is so different, we don't know. No. Other than that, next video you'll see from us is I'll actually be out tomorrow with one of our land clients putting up some cutty back trail cameras on his new property, and then the next bow breakdown is going to be the Bear Persist, which we're going to do next week. So after the podcast, again, you can find us here on YouTube. Make sure that you click subscribe and the little bell so you get notified every time we release a new video, and you're going to start to see a bunch of product as we're getting closer to the season. So we'll have a bunch of stuff to play with, and we'll go from there. Yep. So until next time, we'll talk to you later.